Hi, my name's Charlene and I am the owner of Tech Lounge Cafe. Tech Lounge Cafe is a digital boutique cafe and it's an interactive lounge where you can game, do your work, browse the internet, print. It's essentially a luxury and high-tech digital environment. In previous decades, we had internet cafes where you could just go on computers and not be able to eat. But here, everything is waterproof, everything is durable, and it's more of an upscale internet cafe. I came up with the idea of Tech Lounge Cafe because I'm a digital native. I enjoy everything high tech, everything IT, everything digital. And I also come from a hospitality background. I enjoy food, I enjoy being around food. So I wanted to infuse the two ideas together. I'm someone that used to go to internet cafes. There were times where I didn't have a printer or my computer wasn't working, but I could never be there for too long because there wasn't any food there and that kind of thing. So I wanted to infuse the two ideas together. When I came up with the idea, I wanted to make sure that what it was called is what it does. And so the journey as to finding and building and developing these high-tech equipments and IT devices that I have here was me traveling to Shenzhen and Abu Dhabi and collaborating with forward-thinking IT innovators to be able to develop these tablet tables, which took over a year. And then integrating the idea to the UK took a few months too. But now that we've been opened, it has been really well received. Being a black woman in business is incredibly difficult. I haven't had it easy. I think that some people have probably had it better than me, but I really struggled, and I would actually always camouflage the fact that I was black and conducting business. Whenever there was like a conference call where we would have to show cameras, I would never show my face. I would never give my surname in certain things. I would abbreviate my surname to just ANK. I felt like, going to Asia to develop to develop some of the equipment that I have here, when I knew that when they would discover that I was a black woman, it would change either the pricing or the service or any type of agreement that we have. Because the first time when I went to Asia, I was really disrespected from the moment I landed in an airport. I remember someone stepped on my toe and knocked my hand luggage over and didn't even apologize. They just looked at me like, are you not gonna pick it up? And so with that said, I already knew that, okay, I'm gonna have a problem here. Also, I have friends that go over to Asia and conduct business there, and they're also black and female. And they've said to me numerous times that, yeah, they do experience racism. So I think the first time I went over to Asia, moving forward, I always camouflage being black. But being black and being in business and then being in IT and then going overseas with it, it was something that I had to hide. Fortunately for me, I have a friend that lives in Shanghai, and she's Asian, and I would use her as the face of my business for when it was time to go to the warehouse, when it was time to go to the factories, when it was time to have particular meetings and dissect what it is that I want my equipment to do. I would always relay what I once said to her for her to relay it back to the team and my vendors. I would advise a fellow or a peer of mine that it's really simple. The secret is simple. It is, you have to have a do or die, hell or high water mindset. That is honestly it. The money ain't there, okay, but we're still gonna do it. The backing ain't there, okay, but we're still gonna do it. The support ain't there, but okay, we're still gonna. I've now explained it, even when you go into certain situations where you don't have the support or the team that you have, explain it to the person. That, you know what, I know you're charging like 100 grand for this right now, but I've only got 2. Is there something that we can do to work with it? They might say no. Okay, then, well, if it's no, when can I come back? Like, there's a middle ground. Always find a middle ground at least. But I do worry because, you know, sometimes when you get burnt out like a cigarette, you're burnt out. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you want to light a burnt cigarette again? So it's like, unless you truly have or are truly willing to gain hell or high water or do or die attitude, I really wouldn't recommend it, because certain things that you'll be exposed to, certain things that you will see and hear will burn you out, and you'll be like, you know what, maybe now's not the right time. I had those thoughts at times, and then maybe like 2 hours or an hour will pass and I'll be like, no, we need to get back to it. I had those days where I thought like, you know what, are you really going to do this by yourself? Are you really going to be like taking your savings and whatnot and starting this tech lounge idea, this digital world that you want to create and you know, develop into a franchise? You're really going to do that by yourself? Oh, mate. You know, I would have where are you going to start? I would have those thoughts, those conversations with myself. And then I'll think about my life at the moment, which I was very unhappy with, you know, working a 9 to 5 and, you know, excuse me to say, like selling my soul to a business that doesn't belong to me and getting a small piece of the pie because, you know, they're making millions. I'm only making thousands, you know? And I'll think about that and the check to check living. And I was like, nah, okay, get back to what it is that you want to do. When I decided that I'm still going to go ahead and open my business during COVID-19 crisis, a lot of people were like, oh, well, you know, who's going to go there? You know, we have to be like 10 meters apart. And are you sure that you want to, you know, all this negative talk that was going on. And I thought to myself, you know what, like, I have to mute this out. I muted everything to do with anything negative that would deter me from opening up during COVID-19 crisis. So many people were telling me it's dangerous, this and that. Like I never had one person say, oh, you're opening up during COVID-19, good for you. It was all like, are you sure? How are you doing that? You know, even getting things like stock and materials was like trying to pull blood out of a stone. But I still didn't let it stop me because I was like, this is happening. But I never had one, yeah, it's COVID, keep going. Everything was like, wait until it's over. But when is it going to be over? Do you know what I mean? Like right now, COVID is still happening, but I'm open and I'm trading, right? I live by example and demonstration from my mum, if I'm really honest with you. There isn't a quote that I wake up and I say, yep, you know, inverted commas, closed commas, you know, sign Charles Dickens or something like that. I actually honestly go by what my mum displayed. My mum is really hardworking. You know, she's really hard. She's so hardworking that sometimes when I'm tired and when I'm like, oh my goodness, I think to myself, but mum would keep doing it. Do you get what I'm saying? My mum is out of this world hardworking that I think to myself like, girl, you all right? Like now when I think about how my lifestyle is from like 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. and I think to myself, my mum would do that normally and engage it, it makes me think like but like, are you all right? Do you get what I'm saying? So I honestly don't live by a quote because sometimes I feel like with quotes, it's on paper. You know, you can look at what is written on paper and you can believe it, but can you really see it? Have you seen it be demonstrated and that kind of stuff? I saw hard work being demonstrated in front of me, like, this is the sacrifice we're gonna make, this is how we're gonna do the agenda, this is how we're gonna make the ends meet, this is how, like, I saw drive and push and will and determination in front of me that there isn't really any quotes that will cut it.